Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Start the party. Let's celebrate, because Leslye Headland, the showrunner of Star Wars The Acolyte, wants to make a Knights of the Old Republic centered project. Woo! I mean, I personally couldn't think of anything worse, quite frankly. I couldn't think of anything worse than that. Leslye Headland, the creator of the worst reviewed show in history of Star Wars, wants to do another Star Wars project. You know what? Lucasfilm will probably greenlight it, won't they? They'll be like, yes, please, Leslye, do it. Please, keep doing it. Yes. We want that. We want to double down on this failure. Goodness me. Goodness me. Hit subscribe if you're newer, folks. Please do turn the bell notifications on. And if you like what I do, support further. Why? Because YouTube demonetizes the channel quite a lot. And especially in election years as well. I know I'm not from the US, but they do that, believe it or not. So I've got Patreon, and you can subscribe there for as little as $2 a month. And thanks to everyone who has done that lately. Thank you so much, genuinely. But anyway, let's take a look at this. This is, I mean, look, Star Wars The Acolyte, whether you liked it or not, it's been an unmitigated disaster for Disney. 4.8 million views. The highest Disney Plus premiere, or the most watched Disney Plus premiere of the year, or series premiere of the year, sorry. It's important to note, it's the highest viewed series premiere of the year. They did release two episodes back to back. That's important because they denote a view to be runtime divided by hours watched. So they can round it up. There's an hour there. They can do it like that. Not only that, 4.8 million views based on how they calculate it is terrible. And that's across the world. That's awful. That's so bad. But remember, Leslye Headland wants to do a live action project. So let's take a look, shall we? Let's take a look. And again, these are not review bombs, by the way. I've gone in this. I've done a video on it. I've taken a look at the audience. Like, I've actually looked at what they're saying. Huh? You're not able to read? What? What the hell? I was able to click on it before. What? Maybe it's just overall. Let's look at season 1. Ah, here we go. My God, I was going to say. This has been fluctuating. It got as low as 28%. That's back up to 31%. But yeah, I mean, you can look at the reviews. It's not review bombing. Anyone that claims review bombing, I would say the positive reviews are review bombs. If I read the positive ones, they are more vague than the negative ones. The negative ones actually go into detail of why it's bad. It's a well thought out, justified review at that point, in my books anyway. Whereas the positive reviews just say stuff like, great new addition to Star Wars. They're not afraid to do things differently and to stir the pot. I mean, what? What does that even mean? So literally, I'm looking at the negative, positive one here. Interesting concept in Star Wars saga. Costume design was great, and the first 2 episodes set out a storyline to unfold throughout the season. That sounds like a bot. That doesn't actually sound like a bot. Again, the negative ones go into great depth. Look at this. Great depth. Great depth. Some obviously don't, of course. But anyway, let's have a look at this Knights of the Old Republic crap that they want to do. So, here we have it. Improving that she is apparently a one-note pony when it comes to storytelling. Following her creation of The Acolyte, showrunner Leslye Headland has voiced her interest in doing another Star Wars adaptation based on a female villain with a grey conception of the Force. I bet they're gay as well. This time, in the form of a live-action Knights of the Old Republic project focused on the villain, Kreia, otherwise known as Darth Treya. Cool. The former assistant to Harvey Weinstein, who no one brings that up anymore. People are like conveniently forgetting that she worked for Hollywood's apparent most prolific abuser during his most alleged prolific abusing time. Okay then. Professed her desire to take on the fan favourite video game series, or more specifically its second entry, given her exact mention of Kreia during a recent interview given to the Brazilian entertainment news outlet Omelette. Here she is. Cool. Asked if she had any Star Wars dream projects she'd like to work on after the Acolyte, Headland asserted, as machine translated via Deep L, "I've always wanted to explore a live-action version of the Knights of the Old Republic game. So has everyone else, but not with you. And the character of Kreia. I think it would be a very interesting story to bring to life. Pressed further if said adaptation would possibly feature an appearance by the first Knights of the Old Republic game's iconic Darth Revan, Headland conclusively declared, well, start writing some emails, start crowdfunding. No thanks. I'd rather not. In fact, I'd rather you get as far away from Star Wars as humanly possible. No, actually, do it. Do it. Double down. Do it. Gives me more crap to review on a comedic basis. Do it. Do it. Maybe I can finally buy a mid-70s Toyota Celica. Anyway. A main character in Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lord's Kreia, is a former Jedi whose obsessive desire to understand the Force drives her to take more and more ethically questionable approaches to studying the power and teaching it to her students. Kicked out of the Jedi Order out of fear that her unorthodox teachings had directly inspired her former Padawan, the soon-to-be Darth Revan, to launch a Force civil war, Kreia soon comes to believe that not only are the Jedi unworthy of their power, but that they should be eliminated wholesale for the good of the galaxy. Which is very much what we're kind of seeing in respect to the Acolyte unfold. It's that only some people should use the Force and blah blah blah, and maybe the Jedi aren't all that they're cracked up to be, blah blah blah. I mean, this is just one-note shit. Giving herself over to the dark side and taking on the name Darth Treya, the aging Force Master embarks on a shadow plot to manipulate the Galactic Order into imploding upon itself, starting with a Jedi exile known as Mitra Surik, which is quite, again, this is all very similar to what we're seeing with the Acolyte. One note, Pony. Sound familiar? It should. As noted above, the Force is ambiguous, the Jedi are the actual evils. Setup is near identical to what the Acolyte is. So all in all, the Acolyte is already proving that Headland fundamentally misunderstands the core of Star Wars. Because the core of Star Wars is that it's black and white. It is literally just good versus evil. That's what it is supposed to be. Like, it is very... There's no grey element in, like, Star Wars in terms of what we've seen. Well, yeah, I mean, even this stuff, right? Like, even this. She's evil. We're not supposed to sympathise with this Darth Treya. We're not supposed to empathise with her. We're supposed to go, oh, yeah, she's evil now. Right? Like, it is supposed to be a good versus evil thing. So, anyway, there you go. Good bit of fun. I mean, the Acolyte is just endless content for me. It's quite comical, to be honest. Every time they open their mouths, I'm like, great, cool. It's another video. Good times. Good times. Let me know your thoughts down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.